Hello, this is ZOiD. I am making this video to talk about a problem that I have and a learning that I've had recently. So first, the problem that I have is the branding nightmare that I have, because what I do, I essentially do three things, which is I play jazz guitar and make electronic music that is not jazz. I don't know what it is, it's electronic music. And I teach. I'm an educator, I teach and I mentor students in electronic music and guitar. So those three things: musician, music maker, educator. They're all music related, but they're very different and wide ranging. So this channel, I started this channel to tell people about what I do, really to develop an audience for what I do. And one of the main ways of me doing that is doing musical analysis of Aphex Twin and Square Pusher and Autechre, which I intend to continue doing just because I'm interested in that project. I enjoy doing that, although I haven't had a lot of time lately to do it. It's a small part of what I do. So I'm a music maker first. I think given the choice, would just get up and make music every day, but it doesn't pay the bills. The education part started as a way to pay my bills when I was looking for some kind of how to make a livelihood from music back in 2013, when I was teaching. I was teaching in New Park back then in Dublin. I was like doing substitute teaching work on the jazz degree they were running there at the time. And one day they changed the rules and only contracted staff members could substitute teach. So I didn't have a contract with them. I was just subbing for whoever asked me to. The lecturers were always going away on tour. So, every week I was teaching a few classes. But so that was like my main way I was paying my rent then. And then, one week they changed the rules. I had no more of my main rent paying gig was gone. So I was like, right, now I need to find more work. I was like a low point 2013. I went to every shop and business in my local town, like handing my CV out, stationery shops and like news agents and supermarkets and cinema and everywhere, door to door. No work. Was still pretty a down time economically after the 2008 crisis. It hadn't 2013, there's still a lot of closed shop fronts in my local town, Dunleary. Anyway, I did find some guitar teaching work. I used to travel on the bus really far to do this guitar teaching, and that was like the start of me searching for a better way to do things business-wise. I kind of chose teaching right back then, 2013, and started my own school then in 2013. Just teaching from home, had a few students, but 2014, 1st of January, I got a commercial premises and started the Ultimate School of Music, which grew rapidly and it became like a full-time job pretty quickly. So then for 10 years then, from 2014 to 2024, that was like full-time. I did that for 10 years. So I was found that the teaching became more and more of satisfying and fulfilling career, but the music making and the playing definitely took a back burner then, and I missed it. And when the COVID hit, I really realized, and it hit home, that if I didn't make music, if I didn't create anything for a few weeks, I felt ill, mentally unwell. So, I hadn't given it up altogether. It had been very sparse, my music creation, and I've been playing like a couple of gigs a year kind of thing. So in 2024, it was the end of that period. The school closed, so I could move to the UK, move to Bristol, And I still had education as the main rent paying gig, teaching students. But I started playing more gigs, and now I have regular gigs. I'm playing more, so gigging is becoming a kind of stream of income, as well as the education side. Started the online courses, and of course making music, which I see the making music part of my career as akin to like an academic who publishes articles and doesn't get paid, writes articles for journals. You know, my dad did that. He's retired professor of economics, DCU, in Dublin. So I know how it works. He always used to tell me about it. If you don't publish articles in journals, you don't get promotions in academia, but you don't get paid, and it's a lot of work to do. So it's all just kind of building your career up, which I kind of see making and releasing music as that now. Is like I'm not going to stop making music. It's part of who I am. I do that, every day. But you don't have to release the music. You can just make it for yourself. That'll be fine. But I do release it. It's part of my career, but it's not like I don't make money from it. It costs money to make and release music, actually. So as a business thing, if you're just a business person, be like, why don't you just stop doing that? But to me, there is a good reason to do it. Not just because you never know, maybe the 11th album I release will be the one that takes off. You never know. But I am releasing my 7th album in a couple of months' time. So it's finished. It's going off to get pressed soon. Industrial Wind Quartet, that's called. So back to the branding nightmare. I've got this album coming out. I'm playing jazz gigs. It'd probably be a smart idea to separate everything I do into different Instagram page. I do have one for ZOiD's. I have one for Daniel Jacobson Academy guitar stuff. I have one for ZOiD. Even the ZOiD one is confusing people, I think, because I'm posting me playing a jazz gig. I'm posting me doing an electronic track, and then I'm posting me talking about my electronic music education stuff. So it's a lot going on there, and I think that's why it's so slow for me to find the people who really will appreciate what I'm doing. But that's okay. I don't really have the capacity or the time to make a different Instagram page for every different activity that I do. It's just not going to happen. So that's my kind of branding nightmare, which is, I would say, slowly I think the consistency is important. I just keep on doing what I do, telling people what I do, and gradually, my messaging will get better as well about what I do. So people will know better and learn that, expect the unexpected when it comes to music releases, but I keep on playing. Anyways, that is that problem. And the learning thing that I referred to, that is about making courses, online courses, and selling them. So, it sounds like a great idea to make an online course and then sit back and get paid as people buy it, which that is not impossible. It depends on many factors, of course, like what is the course about? What's the market for that? Are people looking for that? In terms of what I do, what I've learned and what I've been learning is that if I make it quite broad, like my Foundations of Electronic Music Making course, it's quite broad. You learn a bunch of stuff, and I kind of give you the fundamentals, my take on all the things from mixing to sound design to composition, and it kind of fulfills, like if you were starting off or in the middle of your journey, that would be good, but it's not specific enough, really. Because a lot of people look at it and then they think, that sounds really good, but it's not addressing the actual issue that they have. But the people who have and who are doing the course, which is quite a few people, what I've heard from them time and time again is that they're learning, they're getting better, they're doing bits here and bits there, but the main challenge is the consistency of the progress just doesn't, it's not there because their time management is poor, things get in the way, life comes up, and it's just very hard for them to have a sense of progressing from week to week. So having heard that many times, I thought about I think I could help with a program that I'm putting together right now. It's a 10-month mentorship program for people who are making music but not finishing tracks regularly, and they want to release an EP or an album. And at the end of the 10-month program, they will release an EP or an album, their choice. So it's going to be like Zoom group coaching calls every week. And every week I'll put a different focus on that week, whether it's working on the tracks or, idea generation, or later on mastering them, artwork, promotion, everything to do with releasing music, which I've done many times myself for my own releases. 7th album coming up and many EPs. So that is my idea for the new program, which I'll be posting about and talking about more and more in the coming weeks. If you're interested, link below, you can sign up to the priority waiting list to find out. There'll be 10 places for this new program. So if that sounds like you and you want to get email as soon as places are available on that program, then join the priority list below. That's all I want to talk about for this video. See you soon in another video. I'll be doing another video soon. I probably will do I've been listening to Mike and Rich, Expert Knob Twiddlers. There's great stuff on that. I might do one of those. Or there's a couple of people have requested things that I didn't get to, or Tekra and something else. So anyway, thank you for watching as always. If you have any ideas about the branding nightmare, drop a comment. Thank you. Thanks, bye.